This is the Week in Sustainability from Sustain.Life. It's where our team of sustainability experts and practitioners share commentary to keep you up to date on developing stories and news.
Hi, I'm Hannah Osofsky, Sustainability Data Analyst at Sustain.Life. I'm joined today by Noah Jacobs. Noah, you've joined us before, but would you mind giving our audience a description of what you do for us?
Yeah, of course. So I work in business development at Sustain.Life, which means I am the first point of contact for Sustain.Life customers as well as prospective customers, getting to learn a little bit about their sustainability goals and journeys along the way and seeing how we can help them.
Thank you so much for joining today. Last time we talked, our attention was really on the madness of July and global heat records. This week I wanted to be a little more action focused. So we've got two stories on decarbonization strategies in transportation. Aviation emissions might be reducing thanks to AI, but we'll start off with some wins in marine cargo shipping. What have you heard about methanol?
So I know a bit about how it stacks up against other fuels. Compared to heavy fuel oil, I know it emits 80% less nitrogen oxide and 99% less sulfur oxide, which is great, but it is still a natural gas. So I know there's still carbon associated with it.
Right. Conventional methanol it's still a fossil fuel and it's something we want to move away from. But there are methanol options that are biomass based, and these options are, 60 to 90% less carbon emitting than conventional.
That's awesome. And so I got to take a guess that kind of that conventional hitch, though, is that it's expensive.
Yeah, right. Exactly correct. The fuel itself is more expensive. They're facing shortages in terms of supply globally, and the ships that are built for this different fuel are also more expensive. The real sort of hopeful thing here is that Maersk, the world's biggest shipping company, has really ambitious carbon targets. So they're able to lead the industry in demand for biomass based fuel and biomass based methanol. And so that's just pretty exciting and pretty hopeful. But in addition to thinking about the future fuel supply, cargo ships are also looking into the past for low carbon inspiration.
Yeah, I saw that. Sales are kind of making a comeback. I saw yesterday the Pyxis or the Pyxis Ocean left Singapore and is headed to Brazil as the first wind powered commercial cargo ship.
Right, right. These aren't the sails that we picture in our heads. They're not made out of textiles. They look a lot more like a wind turbine, and they can save a ship like 3 tons of fuel every day. And this ship specifically, the Pyxis Ocean, uses a zero carbon fuel in addition to these sails. So this voyage is emission free. And the good news here too is that these ships, they don't need to be built from scratch. The engineers running this project discussed that it's possible to retrofit ships with sails. So I started to, imagine the combination of these two things happening using a biomass-based methanol and wind power. Pairing these things at scale, you start to really see there's hope for decarbonizing shipping.
Yeah, definitely. And shipping emissions impact practically everyone's supply chain. So this is the kind of reduction that has huge potential. And really the same can be said with aviation. Air travel emissions are really intense. Practically everyone flies. Beyond sustainable aviation fuel, there are other developments reducing flight emissions.
Yeah, so we've covered aviation before, and sustainable aviation fuel is definitely a hopeful option, and we know that really big airlines are slowly adopting it. The cool, exciting new development here is that Google has partnered with American Airlines, and they've created and now used AI-based predictions to reduce contrail formation in half of their first test round of flights. So contrails are the cloud-like trail that you see behind planes, and
Mhm.
they trap heat in the troposphere. It's estimated that actually 30% of the warming impact in the aviation industry is from these contrails.
Yeah, I guess I would have just assumed aviation emissions were all fuel combustion. So how do pilots avoid making contrails?
Yeah, I totally assumed the same thing. These contrails only occur, they're not automatic. They only occur when the plane flies through a layer of a really humid area. So the exhaust forms, it vaporizes and forms this trail behind the plane. Google's climate and energy team, now they're using weather data, flight path data, and satellite imagery to model where these humid regions are and where the contrails are likely to occur. So, the amount of data they're working with is tough to comprehend, but it's the perfect opportunity for AI and machine learning to really work to our advantage. They equip flights and pilots with these forecast maps, and pilots can alter their altitude to avoid humid layers, which then leads to less contrail formation. And so, pilots already make choices like this all the time. They alter their altitude to avoid turbulence. This isn't anything new, which is really cool. And their initial flight test was 70 flights. It only used 2% more fuel than estimated and cut expected contrail formation in half. So we don't get very many solutions like this that are pretty straightforward, and it's hopeful.
Yeah, definitely. And I guess while it seems like this may be a little ways from becoming something that happens at scale, just like emissions reduction in cargo, flying is something that most businesses engage in. And it's really exciting to see an example of AI making real change a possibility.
Yeah, they totally are still in early stages, and it'll mostly just be exciting to see sort of how they scale and how quickly they're able to. We'll definitely be covering updates here. So Noah, thank you so much for joining me this week, and thank you everyone for watching The Week in Sustainability.
Sustain.Life is a sustainability management SaaS platform with deep carbon expertise that helps future-proof small and medium-sized enterprises by taking climate action. Go to Sustain.Life to learn more. Thanks for listening and watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel or your favorite podcast platform. We'll see you next week.